Our next subject is going to be the Toy Box TV Live recap.
Yes.
So, which was primarily the Villains Takeover, which we saw a lot more video game footage of that. It was again a kind of a nice informal Toy Box, but also they sort of brought in a guy from Marvel, and they kind of had a little bit of fun, sort of talking
Mike
about
Jones.
Yeah, and it was quite funny in the fact of making a bit of lightheartedness about being able to talk about Marvel, and everything was pre-approved that he said kind of thing. Nothing got announced.
But yeah, I mean, you could tell. I mean, especially the way JV was being that. The only reason why we haven't gotten anything from Marvel, it's all Marvel. But we understand Marvel likes to take care of their guys, their property, and we understand. But they did give us a little tease that they have something coming, something big soon, which obviously they already hinted at San Diego Comic-Con. But both Roger and I are on the same consensus that we're going to hear about this Marvel announcement hopefully at Gamescom, which is not this week, but next week, I believe.
Yeah, next week. I think the end of.
I think it's the 5th through the 9th. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's I'm not going to be able to fly to Germany for that one, but it would make sense to me that that they do an announcement at Gamescom, because there's going to be lots of information coming out, and if they've got this Marvel playset to come out, to me, D23 doesn't seem like the best place for them to do that, because it could get lost in the shuffle with Star Wars and Disney announcements. So if they get Marvel out next week, it would mean that they could have a whole clean sweep of Marvel on, because they're not going to announce it with somebody else. Marvel aren't gonna. That's not going to happen. They don't. Marvel and Disney on the Infinity side don't mix. We saw that the whole of 2.0. We never saw official pictures of them together. You just don't. There was not a lot of cross. See, with Star Wars, we're already seeing official images coming out with, like Frozen.
Olaf.
Yeah, they're already interacting on. So there's a little bit different, and I think it would make sense to make an announcement next week, because we don't know how much announcements in other video games are going to be coming next week, and then the following week. It really depends on how much they're going to announce at D23.
Absolutely.
I'm expecting there could be a lot announced at D23 as the final push before the game comes out. Because if they don't announce it, and people then find it in the Hall of Heroes and stuff, they've got to get that information out before the game comes out in a month.
Right. And there was another cool thing that nice little reveal that Mike Jones, while both him and JV were exchanging words, Mike Jones, or I think it was JV, was talking back to Mike Jones, saying that they were able to get 6 to 8 months worth of future Marvel content into 3.0, which means whatever's going to happen with Marvel 6 to 8 months from now, so meaning obviously Civil War.
Yeah.
Looks like we might have some Civil War in 3.0. So that was a nice little reveal that he gave us there for people who were smart enough to add up your months and saying that Civil War will be the next movie. So so that's kind of interesting. We'll get to see what we have in store with that. Again, it's content that's within the game. Don't know if they're figures. In fact, we don't know what any other Marvel figure is aside from Hulkbuster and Ultron. So. No, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that Marvel side of things, it makes sense to me to do Civil War. Civil War's going to be out springtime. It makes sense to get that out there. But also, to me, Civil War allows for that use of all the characters we've already had. Right. It could fit in nicely with a storyline of the crossplay and all the rest of it, without introducing the new characters like Black Panther and stuff, which I think will be coming next year. I can't see them coming out this year without the movie. They're going to want that in the shops to get people going next year for the things like Black Panther and Doctor Strange.
That'll be exciting.
Yes. Also on the Twitch show, they showed quite a bit of footage for Toy Box Takeover, which
that's right.
is the pre-order bonus. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, I would say. And you want everything, and you're going to be playing it quickly, I would get this, because you're going to get the game included in it. It's basically, by the looks of it, a kind of a version of the dungeon crawler of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the was it the Brave one from last year, but basically revved up to being a lot cooler.
Yeah, one of the things that I did notice in the gameplay, obviously, sidekicks are for sure well more important. Like they're definitely fixed. I know there was a lot of glitches in the game. They also use the procedural generation tool, kind of like the Toy Box games we had, where they would generate the levels. But on this one, it's going to be like every 2 parts of the level you pass, on the third one it generates it, and that's when you play against the boss, which is the image you're about to click on. I think the first boss is Barboza, and that unlocks him, I believe, to be able to play. But no, it's kind of cool. I like the fact that also, like I said, the sidekicks will be very crucial. Obviously, you get to play with the farming tool, so that's actually going to help you basically get your sidekick their stats up, their attacks, their skills, and not to mention you can find little hats that'll give you special abilities within the level. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. I'm excited to try it out. So we'll see.
Did it look to you like the sidekicks looked a bit bigger than they did before?
They look like they're using the townspeople as sidekicks more so, because the townspeople always seem to be a little bit bigger than the regular sidekicks. But I could be wrong. They could seem bigger, but who knows? Yeah, no,
I just thought it was. I think the idea of it regenerating and stuff is going to be a lot more interesting for replay. And this is the thing, and I know you've done it a lot. Was those Toy Box game discs were actually one of your most favorite part of it, because of the online play and the continuous nature of that compared to play sets. Yeah. So I expect you're going to love this Takeover disc.
I'm definitely going to love it. I'm not going to lie. I think I still will love Raceway a little bit more, only because it's something newer and fresher. I mean, this one is still new and fresh, but it's still similar to what we have had in 2.0. But still, I'm going to love it because it's going to be hours of gameplay. It is also multiplayer, which is cool, so you can play with a friend. So I don't know. I mean, I guess once I really get hands-on with it, I didn't really play this one as much because, like I said, I was so used to it that I wanted to play the Raceway instead, and so I did.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually got my hands on the expansion games yet. I think the fact that this one's out in the pre-order is a good idea, because I don't think there's as much excitement around this one. This is the one thing that kind of Speedway is completely just taking over everyone's thoughts and what people want to do. The Takeover one has been probably there hasn't been as much. Obviously, this Toy Box team thing was the first time we got to see some of it. Hasn't been as much excitement over it. But no, I'm thinking it should be an additional option. And the fact you can bring in all your Marvel and your Star Wars and Disney characters all into one game and play, that'll be interesting. And like I said, absolutely. I think that's going to be an interesting side effect to it. But yeah, no, I'm thinking this could be really interesting to see. And I think you can actually do it in about 3 to 4 hours. I think they said it's not a huge long, but I think the replay value is where this one's going to be picking up generation and stuff.
Yeah, because keep in mind, I mean, there's going to be tons of customization for your sidekick, so there's going to be different hats and stuff like that. So you replay to find chests, and you can keep unlocking more stuff. So we'll see.
No, that's cool.
No, that's cool.
I'm trying to think what else they said on the recap. What else they said they were talking about?
Well, they announced the opening of the summit to the public.
Yes.